Hello and welcome to the threes module. This module is to get you to orient you a little bit into the classroom, to tell you some things that we might see specifically in the threes class, and to talk a little bit about how our day will run when you're the working parent in the threes class. So the first thing we're going to do is take a break from here. We're going to go take a quick tour. Now, you may have seen some of these if you've already worked in the classroom or if you attended orientation. So it may be a little bit of a repetition, but I found that repetition is really good to help us remember. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit about some three specific behaviors we might see. All right, when you are cleaning, right here are the daily cleaning supplies. Here's where you're going to find your bleach bottle, your soap and water, extra trash liners, items like that. And this is our first aid kit. Inside our first aid kit is just basic first aid materials, gloves, Band-Aids, etc. Also, if you have a student in your class that has an EpiPen, it will be found in here. You are not expected to administer an EpiPen, but if we ever needed one and we needed to tell you, go grab it, they'll always be in the first aid kit. All right, in the threes class, when you're a working parent, you're going to want to, first thing when you come in is make sure you sign both yourself and your child in. Down here it says art parent or snack parent. Make sure that you sign your name and time here along with your child's name. If they're going to lunch bunch, put a Y under lunch, or an N if they're not. A lot of parents like to have their kiddos go to lunch bunch because it enables them to clean a little faster, but it's not a requirement. And then when you sign out, make sure you sign out both your child and yourself. This is a licensing requirement, so it's really important that this is complete. After you sign in, your children can put their things away, and then you need to hang up your items on these hooks. It's very important that any of our bags are out of the reach of children. If your bag hangs super low, make sure you let your teacher know, and maybe she can find a different spot for it. But we want to make sure that any of our personal bags are out of the reach of children. The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you put your working parent key on. This key opens the gates. So in case there was an emergency or a fire, every adult has a way to be able to get out of the classroom or out of the school building. A lot of parents like to put their car keys right here, so that way at the end of the day they can just go ahead and switch them out and you don't accidentally take the key home, because we do need these every day. So if you take it home, you have to bring it back before the next school day. The next thing you're going to do is, if you are the snack parent, you're going to sign in right here. You're going to put exactly what you had for snack: crackers, strawberries, and cheese sticks. This enables anybody who has an allergy to easily check what is going on. And directly above it, we have our allergies and our dietary preferences. You do not have to accommodate all of these, but you may not bring anything with nuts or tree nuts in school. And if you happen to bring cheese sticks and someone's allergic to dairy, they'll just have an alternate snack that their parent has provided. After you have put all of your stuff here, then you're ready to start your day. Right over here is our parent duties list. So if you are snack parent, you'll follow these items before school. If you're art parent, you'll do these items before school. This is to be done between 8:45 and 9 o'clock. Throughout the day, you'll follow these guidelines. This is art parent and snack parent. Kind of goes over a little bit more in detail of what you're expected to do, how to set up the easel, how to clean up the easel, how to set up snack, how to facilitate snack. Throughout the day, then you'll check in with the teacher. What does she have going on? What do you need to do throughout the day? There's also a little guideline right here that just kind of leads you through the schedule of the day. What's happening first, second, third. At the end of the day, you'll refer back to here to be able to figure out what you're going to do at the end of the school day. These are all the cleaning and put away things that happen at the end of the day. If you're a working parent, or if you come in for weekend cleaning or something like that, you'll always come in through the front door using your key fob. Right here is our calendar board. It's just going to give you a brief update of what's happening this month, coming up next month, stuff like that. Make sure you check it occasionally. You'll also get newsletters or weekly reminders from the office. Make sure you check those to ensure that you're keeping up to date with all things co-op. When we talk about your family mailbox or your family cubby, this is the area that we're talking about. In order to find which cubby is yours, search for your last name right here, find the number, and then go down, and the number will be to the left of the mailbox. So this number 40 is for this mailbox right here. So make sure you're checking your mail frequently. Teachers will put in art that your children have done, and the board members will occasionally put items in here in order for you to find out what's going on at the school. Right here is our tuition box. This is where you would put any kind of money or check that you need to get. Please don't leave any money or checks on Vicky's desk. Anything like that needs to go right here. There's a lock, only Vicky has a key to it. It's just a way to keep it safer. If you do have cash, you can always just write on the outside of an envelope, you know, tuition for whomever, there's envelopes right here, and pop it in there. And this way we'll always make sure that we have what you need. Right here is the paint cabinet. When you are working in the classroom and a teacher asks you to get paint, you're gonna wanna come and get it here. There are all sorts of things in this cabinet. There's tempera paint, watercolors, acrylic paint. Make sure that you're getting the right one that your parent or that your teacher is actually asking you to get. Moving on. Here in the kitchen, this is the hub of everything snack. If you are in the 2s or 3s, your dry snacks will go right in these baskets. If you're in the 4s, your dry snack goes on the grain shelf. In addition, all sorts of extra things, so if you need baggies or paper towels for the kitchen, they're stored right here. Do not put anything to soak in this sink. If you need to soak something, we have a soaking bucket right here. Make sure that you're utilizing this. You can stick it over here, do your soap, put in your paint cups, and move on. This is storage area for the 2s and 3s classroom. Here's where the 2s store their small group activities. Here's where the 3s store their small group activities. This is where the paint cups and paintbrushes are stored for the 2s and 3s. They're always just kind of right in this spot. You're welcome to use the microwave or coffee maker anytime you're here. And then here we go, here's the fridge. When you are snack parent, you're going to want to make sure that you put any perishable snacks in the bins that are labeled. So there's 1 for 2s, 1 for 3s, and 2 for the 4s class. When you are snack parent, one of your duties is to put any lunch bunch bags in the fridge. You may put them on shelves 1, 2, or 3. This top shelf is dedicated for teachers to be able to utilize for any curriculum items that they have. So please don't ever put your snack on these 3 shelves. These are dedicated for lunch bunch. All right, if your child is in the 2s or 3s class, this is the gate that you pick up and drop off at. But if your child goes to lunch bunch, all lunch bunch children get picked up through this gate. So when you go in, you can scoop your hand around, but when you leave this gate, it is imperative that you ensure that it is pulled shut and latched. This gate goes directly into the parking lot. So for the safety of our children, anytime you are using this gate, ensure that it is shut and latched when you leave. You may have heard at the business meetings a lot of people excited about winning the parking spot. This is that spot. Parking Space of the Month winner. If you win this at the business meeting, you get to park here all month. You don't have to worry about parking at Walgreens. You can park here every day that your child comes. Right here is the dumpster. When you're working in the classroom, this is the dumpster where you empty the trash can. So ensure that every trash can in your child's classroom is emptied, and then place it in this dumpster. And then right here you can see there's another reserved parking spot. It says reserved for auction winner. At our yearly auction, this space gets auctioned off for the entire year. You see Vicki there all the time because she bought it last year, but we want to see her lose it this year. So at the auction, make sure you bid on it.
Hey!
All right. When you are coming for weekend cleaning, you can park in any parking spot in our parking lot. Please avoid using the parking spots that are for the thrift store next door. But you can park in any spot. You'll want to make sure you enter the front door using your key fob. So don't forget it. And keep your keys on you at all times because all the doors aren't open when we're here on the weekend and you don't want to get lost out. To use the key fob, you press it in front of the door, listen for the beep, and pull it open. You only have 5 seconds to open the door and then there'll be another little beep which will automatically lock it again. When you come inside, if you are the only person here, you're going to need to turn the lights on. The lights are inside the office. And the light switch is right here on the wall. The one light switch works for the entire school. All you need to do is switch it on. But when you leave for the day, make sure that you turn it off. You're going to save electricity and power that way. This is the cleaning shed. This is going to be the shed around the school that you're going to utilize the most frequently. It is locked. The key code is 4316. It's the same as our address in case you forget. Once you input it, everything that you'll need for daily cleaning. So here are the mop sticks. Dirty mop heads go right here. These need to be hung over the way that you see them right now because that will stop the smell from that moldy, dirty smell. So make sure they're hung over, and then if there are dry ones, you can just kind of shove them back in there. Also in here are the bathroom cleaning kits. So each one has Lysol, Comet, a toilet brush spray, and Pledge. You'll want to grab this when you're cleaning at the end of the day. And you'll want to grab a clean mop head. In order to use this, you're going to get it wet under the sink, rinse it out to where it's just barely damp, put it on the bottom of the mop stick, and then every room has floor cleaner. Do not use bleach on the floor unless there was a potty accident. We want to use just the floor cleaner. It will help the wax that's on the floor stay for longer. And if you need to refill the floor cleaner, that's also in here. It is a concentrate. It's only 1 tablespoon to an entire bottle of water. You'll also want to grab a vacuum when you're cleaning daily, which is right here. We share these. So make sure when you're done, if you could pop into to the classroom next door and say, hey, do you guys need the vacuum? So that way they don't have to come and find it. Also in this shed is any extra items that you might need that are disposable throughout the day. So gloves, wipes, trash bags, Dixie cups, paper towels, items like that you're going to find in this cabinet. When you close this, ensure that the lock is completely latched. Sometimes you push it and it sounds like it's locked, but it's not. So please make sure that it is latched. You can move it to make sure that it's completely locked and then pull on it. This shed is on the playground, so we want to make sure that our children are very safe. If you're looking for some paper towels or some Kleenex and there are none in here, right there it says overflow shed. That's where you would go to get anything. If you can't find it in here, it might be there. One more shed I want to show you is for our weekend cleaning shed. Now if you're here on the weekend and it is your 1 or 2 times a month that you're cleaning, you're going to need to use a little bit more than the regular cleaning supplies, the day-to-day cleaning supplies. That shed is right here. It's the one that says wagons on it, right over by the bikes. So when you come, you'll make sure that you sign in. Not sign in. You'll use your key fob, turn on the light switch, and then come over here. Again, the code is the same, 4316. And this is where you're going to find anything that you need for weekend cleaning. So you're going to find rags, and you're going to find a list of what you need to do. So here in the bucket, this is labeled Fours class. You're gonna have some extra cleaners, and then it's gonna tell you exactly what to do. Grab this and just work your way down the list. All of them start with thank you, because if it wasn't for you, our school would definitely not be as clean as it is. We depend on you guys during these weekend cleanings to make sure that our classrooms are clean and disinfected. It's really imperative and important what you're doing. Again, when you leave after your weekend cleaning, make sure this lock is shut and latched securely. If you happen to have your child with you on a time when it's not a school day, make sure that you can see them at all times. Even before or after school, your teacher's not always going to be looking for them. Before and after school, your child is your responsibility. So ensure that you can see them at all times. If your child is here and it's not a regular school day, make sure that they clean up after themselves. So if you've been working on the lawn and they've been out here riding bikes, make sure at the end of the day that the bikes are all back where they belong. Not only does that reinforce the cleaning routines that we already have throughout the day, it also makes sure that the playground and the classrooms are ready for teachers when they come in. Okay, so some specific things that in the threes class that you can help with. Let's talk about cleanup. And in the threes, they're definitely capable of cleaning up after themselves. So if you see a kiddo that, is playing with the cars and then they're, oh, I'm ready, I want to go, play over here in the house, try to catch them before they get too far involved in the play and say, oh, I need you to come back and help me with these cars. You pick up all the trucks and I'll do all of the cars, or you do all the red ones and I'll do everything else. Whatever way that we need to do to just kind of continue to encourage them and to try as much as possible to always have them clean up at least a little bit during cleanup time. During circle time, I want you to participate with us, to sit with us, to help us at circle, but we don't need to know if you know the answer to what 2 + 1 is. I'm pretty sure you guys have all got that down. So our instinct is when we're sitting there and the teacher says, oh, there's two dogs and 3 cats. How many animals are there all together? And then you hear the parent in the background, 5. Instead of doing that, just take a deep breath and see what the kids have to say. During snack, this is another great time for us to practice our self-help skills. There's lots of things we're working on with kids during the snack. Can you wash your hands by yourself? Get the paper towel by yourself. One of the things we really work on is sitting and talking to our neighbors during snack. Please pass the snack basket. And those things that when they were younger that we may have done, we may have picked up the snack basket and brought it over. Instead, we can facilitate by calling another child that's near the basket of strawberries. Excuse me, can you please grab, Rocky, can you please grab that basket of strawberries and pass it down? Those types of things, and getting them to be involved in snack is going to be really helpful. Also, have them pour their own water. We've been talking about using your helping hand and pouring it with the other one and then stopping when it's full. Now, are there going to be spills? Absolutely. And we can have children also assist with this. If the whole water pitcher goes down, would not be appropriate to expect them to clean up the entire water pitcher spill, but definitely would it be appropriate to ask them, oh, go get some paper towels and come help me. Let's clean up this spill together. Or, oh, I noticed that the paint fell on the ground. You go get the paper towels and then we can clean it up together. So those types of things that we're really encouraging those self-help skills. And again, lots of dressing and undressing in the threes. They get wet, they want to change. They need to go to the bathroom, so they need to get completely naked and then get completely dressed again. All of those types of things we want to really encourage children to do on their own. Finally, outside, again, we want to continue this theme of letting our children do for themselves. In the 3-year-old class, I really see a lot of parents struggling with the fact that their children aren't babies anymore. They're moving, they're growing, they're doing all sorts of things, and we can give them the opportunity to do that. So when we're out on the big yard, really encourage them to take risks. If you notice a child never goes on the tire swing, ask them if they want to get on. Say we can go slow, or we can go back and forth, or we can spin. Give them some options of ways that they can do that. Ask them if they'd like to hang on the monkey bars. Ask them if they would like to try riding the bike with you. We want to give them lots and lots of opportunities to try these difficult things. Let's climb on the tunnel together. And you can stand right next to them, and you don't have to physically assist them, but you could say, oh, look why don't you put this hand on this one, and then you can move this foot up to this holder, and eventually just through that verbal assistance you can help them reach their goal of climbing to the top of the tunnel. And then maybe they're a little scared up there, so maybe you could say something like, would you like to jump off on your own? Would you like to climb down, or would you like to use my hand to jump? So again, providing that variety of scaffolds and choices for them to try something new without it being too terribly scary. All right, so one of the most challenging things that parents that are working in the threes class face is if there are 2-year-olds attending on the same day as your class, is when the twos come in and they will kind of dump things, knock them over. The children are very involved in what they're doing, and then all of a sudden the chaos of the twos happens. The thing that you can do to help this is to help redirect the 2-year-olds. Don't be afraid of them. You can pick them up. You can help actually gently grab their shoulders and move them in the direction you want to go. For 2-year-olds, we need to give them lots of choices and make sure that they know the boundaries and the rules of the room. That's a Play-Doh tool. It stays on the Play-Doh table. If you want to play outside, there's toys outside to play with. So just kind of reinforcing the things that they can do instead of the things that they can't do. And that really goes the same for 3-year-olds. It's much more effective to say you can play with the cars over here on the ramps rather than saying, you can't take the cars outside. We can give them lots of choices of the things that they can do. One big difference between the 2s and the 3s class is that we're going to have more specific tasks and learning goals for the 3s. So if your child attended the co-op for the 2s, there may or may not have been a lot of small group activities near the end of the year, whereas in the 3s, we're going to jump right in there. Those small group activities at the end of the day are really to help address some of those very specific goals that we want our children to accomplish. It may be learning how to cut, or learning how to write their name, or learning how to have a conversation and take turns going back and forth, learning how to play a game. Lots of different things that we might want to have them working on. So you'll see a little bit more of some, teacher-directed things than you would have seen in the 2s. And that's perfectly normal, and they're ready for that. They kind of soak it up. They want to be learning more. They want to know, what can I do next? How can I grow from here? Also during the 3s class, we have potty training. So some kiddos are completely potty trained by 3, some are finishing up their potty training process, and some are just getting started. So we have a variety in here. After snack in the 3-year-old class, everyone takes a mandatory potty break. After you clean up from snack, the child will then go to the restroom with the teacher and just attempt to sit on the potty. And this way we can really help support children in all aspects of their pottying. Now, if your child is one that really resists that, and they already know, and they kind of know, I don't need that extra reminder ever, make sure you tell your teacher that, so that way she can adjust her expectations for your individual child. A lot of times 3-year-olds still need a lot of support in the potty. For the most part, the teacher will be supporting the potty, but occasionally you'll take a child to the potty, just remind them that they need to flush. Most children at this age can kind of, pull up their undies on their own, pull up their shorts on their own. They can stand on the stool and wash their hands. They just need a little bit of guidance. So when you are helping in the restroom, most of your helping would be verbal. Okay, go ahead and stand up. Oh, I see that you're trying to pull up your pants, but your undies are still down. First, pull up your undies and get those all nice and comfy, and then pull up your pants. So in this way, we can help support and guide and scaffold without doing it for them. Self-help skills are a huge goal in the threes. We start off the year with learning how to wash our hands, with learning how to pour water, with learning how to cut with a plastic knife. All of those skills we're really wanting to build in our 3-year-olds. And that includes giving them lots and lots of time to do those more difficult tasks of, getting themselves dressed, putting on their own shoes and socks, helping, pour the water. Those things that when you're at home, you're like, oh my gosh, this is just taking so long. We have time here, so you can really let them spend 5 minutes to get themselves dressed. And the confidence that they're going to feel after doing that is totally worth the amount of time and the patience that it will require from us to allow that to help to happen. One of the most important things that I can't stress enough to you is that if you don't know what to do, just do something. Sit down and talk to a child, read a book, ask the teacher, am I doing everything right? Should I be doing something else? What else do you need? We really depend on you to be a part and an integral and important part of our curriculum and our classroom. So if you're feeling a little intimidated or a little unsure, you can't go wrong by reading a book, by singing a song, by sitting down to play a game, or just by asking for help.